Hey there, it's Calvin Strawn, creator of the Find a Way to Win programs, talking about how to be your best under pressure. So today we're looking at how to stay calm when you're under pressure. That's today's video. And what's interesting is when I see people and they go, hey Cal, you're a speaker, so what do you talk about? What's your topic? And I'll say, I talk about how to be your best under pressure. And they go, oh, relevant topic, but I excel under pressure. I really thrive under pressure. I just do great there. And my brain goes, sure you do, right? I'm not trying to be glib. I'm not trying to be condescending. I know that biologically, we're wired to not always be our best under pressure. Maybe we're good in situations we understand, but when it goes out of our comfort zone, that's where we start to see a difference in our performance. Doesn't matter if you're a surgeon, an athlete, an actor, a salesperson, a parent. When the pressure strikes, when it's outside of your comfort zone, we see a drop in our performance. Now check this out as an example. Imagine right now, I have two sidewalks side by side, huge area to walk on, and I make it the length of half a football field. So I got two sidewalks the length of half a football field, and I say to you, I go, listen, all I want you to do is take this huge plank, and I want you to walk the entire distance, and if you do, I'm gonna give you $10,000, right? $10,000 is two sidewalk widths. It's the half a football field on the ground, totally flat, no hills, no wind. Ready? You'd say, oh, geez, yeah, no problem. I walk every day. I got this, right? So now watch this. I take that same plank and I put it up between two skyscrapers, two tall towers. And I say, guess what? Same thing, same width, same distance, no wind, totally flat. Between two skyscrapers, go. And you go, are you nuts? I'm between two, I could die, I could fall. This is crazy. What are you talking? What happened is the perceived threat. We're totally fine in conditions we understand. When we go outside of those conditions, that's where that threat shows up. That's where that pressure shows up. And this pressure loop kicks in. And what do I mean? When we perceive a threat, our body fires off adrenaline. We fire off adrenaline. Now we have excess energy. And the excess energy comes off as increased heart rate, shaking hands, babbling speech. We can't sit still. We're moving. Our eyes are dilated. We're in this like whoa place. Also, when we have this physical response, we have a mental response too, saying, oh my gosh, this is too hard. We're going to screw up. It's scary. I can't make it happen. What if and all this doubt and fear and worry is just churning. And with this increased doubt and fear and worry, what happens? That's also a perceived threat. So our body goes, oh, more adrenaline. And so now you have even more excess energy, more heart rate, more dry mouth, shaky hands, can't think. Now you have more mental response and you're caught in what's called the pressure loop. So when that's going off for you, how do you maintain control? And to make it really make sense for you, in a moment where you say you're a salesperson, and you're making calls every day, and you're like, I'm fine, I can make calls, I feel very strong about this. But all of a sudden, what if the calls are more important? What if there's a perceived threat, meaning all of a sudden now you need to make this sale to pay your mortgage. You need to make this sale to feed your kids. You need to land this interview, otherwise you have to sell your house. That is a perceived threat. Or you're a business owner. And now you got to get this deal. You need to get this deal, or you can't make payroll and you got to lay people off. Or maybe you're a mother or a husband and a wife team trying to get pregnant, and all of a sudden you're down to your third round of IVF, fourth round, you're out of money, out of funding, and this is it. We got to get this or we're not going to have a kid. When that perceived threat kicks in, it shoots off this adrenaline and this excess energy and this doubt and this worry and this fear. So how do you be your best in that moment? What can you do? That's the purpose of this video. And so here, the first thing I want you to do is this. I want you to ground yourself. As you feel this excess energy, as you feel the pressure loop, ground yourself. So it's a simple technique in real time. You're there in the moment and you simply say, okay, what are three things I can see? Just stop for a second. What are three things I can see? And so right now in my studio, I can see the camera, I can see the lights, I can see my wife, right? If you're still having a hard time, go to 5. I can see the staircase, I can see my couches, I can see 5 things. What are 3 to 5 things you can see? What are 3 things you can hear? And so I'm here, I'm okay, I can hear my kids. I can hear the traffic. I can hear my cats, right? I can hear my own voice. So what are 3 things I can hear? And then, what are 3 things I can smell? And you go, I can smell my cologne. We're burning some sage oils in the house here, so I can smell the sage oils. I can smell the atmosphere of the house. So just going by, what are 3 things I can see, hear, and smell, all of a sudden it starts to reduce what's called cortisol in the body. Yes, I've got adrenaline, but cortisol is there too, and cortisol is a stress hormone. And so by doing that grounding exercise, I dissipate that cortisol. And it gives time now to no longer be mentally hijacked. Because now I've gone from my emotional brain into my thinking brain. I got that cortisol out of there, and now I can think of a solution by simply grounding. I'm more calm. I can now think something else to do. That's the first thing, grounding. The second thing here is you want to reframe the context. So when I say reframe, what I mean is this. When you're feeling that pressure loop, and now your body's jittery, your heart's racing, your muscles, you're starting to get, you feel this arousal, right? And if you think to yourself, I'm gonna screw up, this panic sensation, what I'm pointing out to you is it's a very thin line between being panicked and being pumped. When you're pumped, guess what? Your heart's racing, your eyes are dilated, your body's got more energy. You've got this arousal thing going on. But the thing is, the way you're framing the mental context is getting in the way under pressure. You're thinking you're gonna screw up, you're gonna lose, it's gonna be a bad thing. Rather than going, no. When you're in a heightened situation, in a perceived threat scenario, what's happening is those reactions are telling you you're ready to win now. I learned this from watching athletes. They do it all the time. If you watch like a Steph Curry, say, or a Serena Williams, they got the habit of going, I'm not nervous, I'm ready. That's the difference. It feels the exact, it's a very thin line. It's your choice whether you want to reframe it as we're going to screw up and lose, or hey, you know what? All of these things are telling me I'm going to do this fine. My body's in its best position to win now. You're reframing the context. And the third thing here is this. You want to get a win. Now, I'm not talking a big win. I'm simply saying a small win. When I was an athlete, it was a great phrase I learned from Vince Lombardi. You know who Vince Lombardi is, right? He's a coach from the Green Bay Packers. He's famous. And Vince Lombardi goes, in the middle of this storm, what we need is one good play. One good play resets the entire game. So you don't need to close the sale necessarily, but maybe in that situation where you're doing a presentation or trying to make a sale and you're feeling the nervousness, the fear, the doubt, and the worry, getting a win could just simply be answering a question. And by getting that win, you go, I answered that question, all of a sudden now it triggers testosterone. And what testosterone does is it gives you more confidence. You go, we did it. All right. Okay. Also, it triggers dopamine in your body. You go, what does dopamine do? Dopamine allows you actually to retain more information. So now, rather than panicking and doubting, you're able to think of more solutions now because of the dopamine. So you want to get a win, answer a question, congratulate somebody, do something small, a small play that can reset the whole scenario. Does that make sense? So I'll give you a couple more examples. Let's say you're in a sales situation. Maybe you answer a question. Maybe you ask a quality question. Is a good thing to do, okay? If you're in a pitch presentation, maybe you ask for the business. Whether you get it or not, doesn't matter. You simply ask, you put yourself out there saying, I did it, I asked, okay? So something small you can do that trigger you to go, we did it. That we did it sensation triggers testosterone, triggers dopamine, gets you back online to being able to be better under the pressure. So there's 3 things you can do. 1, ground yourself. Two, what you can do is reframe the situation. It's a very thin line between panicked and pumped. And finally, what you want to do is get a win. Do those 3 things and you'll be better under pressure. I'll see you on the next one. Hey there, thanks for stopping by and thanks for watching. Listen, if this video really resonated with you, make sure you subscribe to my channel to get the latest updates on how to find a way to win and really perform well under pressure. And for an even deeper dive on the training, go by my website, calvinstrong.com. I promise your time will not be wasted. All the best, until next time.